Every single time you tap an app, deploy some code, or just browse the web, there's this powerful, invisible engine running things behind the scenes. Well, today, we're pulling back the curtain on that engine, Linux. And trust me, it's so much more than just an operating system. It is the absolute architectural backbone of DevOps and really all of modern tech.
Just let this number sink in for a second. Over 90% of all cloud infrastructure runs on one single operating system. I'm talking about the massive server farms for AWS, Google Cloud, Azure, the automated pipelines building our software, the whole shebang. It all runs on Linux.
And that really brings us to the core truth of this whole thing. This isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's a fundamental rule of the game. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why Linux is so dominant, what its core pieces are, and the skills that are completely non-negotiable for anyone who wants to succeed in tech today. So why Linux? How did this one open source project become the undisputed king of the cloud, the default choice for pretty much all modern infrastructure? All right, let's dive in.
This right here tells you pretty much the whole story. It's a difference in philosophy. Over on the left, you've got Linux. It's open source, built around the command line, super lightweight. It was born for automation. Now look to the right. Windows is proprietary and designed around a graphical interface, a GUI. Now that's great for your desktop for sure, but for servers, it's heavier and way less friendly to automate. These core design choices are exactly why Linux won the cloud.
And here are the real-world benefits of that philosophy. Its command-line nature is a dream for scripting and automation. Its lightweight design means you can scale it up like crazy. It's way cheaper because, hey, it's open source. And on top of all that, it has this rock-solid reputation for security and pure performance, which is exactly what you need when things go live. Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get into the what. We're going to pop the hood and take a look at the high-level blueprint of a Linux system. Think of it like layers of an onion, starting from the center. At the very core, you've got the physical hardware. Talking directly to that hardware is the kernel. This is the brain of the operation, the original masterpiece from Linus Torvalds. It manages everything. Now, the next layer out is the most important one for us, the shell. This is your command line. It's how you talk to the kernel. And then finally, on the very outside, you have all your applications. As a DevOps engineer, that shell, that's your home. That's where the magic happens. So, if the operating system is a city, then the file system is its map. And these directories are the most important neighborhoods. As an engineer, you're going to spend most of your time in just a few of them. The /etc directory is where all your configuration files live. /var is where you'll find your logs, and believe me, this is your first stop for troubleshooting. And /home is, well, where the user home directories are. Knowing this map is just fundamental. Now, in this city, there's one person who has the master key, a key that opens every single door, every single lockbox. That person is called root. It's the super user. It has absolute, total control over everything. And that immense power is exactly why you have to be so careful with it. So how do you handle admin tasks without being logged in as this all-powerful, potentially dangerous user all the time? Well, the answer is this one beautiful command, sudo. It literally stands for super user do. It's like borrowing the root user's master key for one specific task and then giving it right back. It's the safe, secure, standard way to get things done. All right, we get the layout of the city. Now let's get practical. Let's move to the how. What does a DevOps engineer actually do with Linux every single day? This is the toolkit. First up, installing software. I want you to forget about downloading .exe files and clicking next, finish. In the Linux world, you use package managers. With one simple command, like sudo apt install, you can install something as complex as Docker in seconds. This is the absolute bedrock of server automation. Okay, so once the software is installed, it's usually running in the background as what's called a service, like a web server. You control its entire life with these 4 simple, predictable commands. You start it, you check its status, you stop it, and you restart it. This direct, scriptable control is just crucial for managing apps reliably. But of course, these servers aren't sitting on your desk, right? They're in a data center halfway across the world. So how do you even talk to them? The answer is SSH, or Secure Shell. Think of it as the universal remote control for your entire infrastructure. This secure, encrypted gateway is used for everything, from manually fixing a problem to running your automated CI/CD pipelines. Okay, so we've got the building blocks down. Now let's connect these Linux fundamentals directly to all those big-name tools you hear about every day. Let's see how Linux powers the entire modern DevOps toolchain. I mean, just look at this list. It's a who's who of DevOps. Your Git server, your Jenkins build agents, Docker and Kubernetes, your Prometheus monitoring, your ELK stack for logging. What do they all have in common? They were all built, first and foremost, to run on Linux. Let's zoom in on Docker, because this is huge. What is a Docker image, really? Well, like the slide says, it's a neat little self-contained package with your app and everything it needs to run. But here's the critical part. That entire package is built on top of a base Linux distribution, like Ubuntu, or maybe a tiny one like Alpine Linux. And here it is. This is the big aha moment that makes it all click. What is a container actually doing? It's not magic. It's not a tiny virtual machine. A Docker container is simply an isolated process running directly on the host machine's Linux kernel. That's it. Once you get that, you get containers. Understanding Linux totally demystifies them. So we've seen why it's dominant, what it's made of, and how it powers literally everything. Let's wrap this all up by focusing on the essential, you gotta know the skills that you need in your tool belt. You know, this might be the most important question for anyone starting out. There's so much to learn, right? So what are the absolute must-have skills you need to get your DevOps journey started on the right foot? Here it is. This is your day one checklist. You have to be comfortable moving around the file system, managing users and permissions, installing software, controlling services, digging into logs to find errors, managing processes that are running, and of course, connecting to a server with SSH. This is the foundation that everything else is built on. And hey, while you're learning, here are a few traps to avoid. Please don't just use the root user for everything you do. Don't ignore the logs. They are best friend when things go wrong. Be very careful when you change permissions, and always, make a backup of a config file before you touch it. So let's bring it all home. Linux isn't just part of DevOps, it is the foundation. Without these basic skills, you just can't manage servers, you can't run containers, and you can't operate a CI/CD pipeline effectively. Mastering these basics is the key that unlocks the door to real-world, hands-on DevOps engineering. We've laid out the entire blueprint for you, from the big ideas down to the daily commands. The foundation is clear, the path is set. So the only question that's left is, are you ready to start building?